getting swept by Boston. That shit didn't feel good. But it's a learning experience. Being on a new team. Being traded from Philadelphia, going to the Brooklyn Nets. Just a change of environments. Playing off the bench behind Joel to being a starter again in Brooklyn. It's crazy. It was kind of hard for us to adjust as a team. Adding myself and Seth. The situation with Ben Simmons. With his back injury. It was tough for everybody to get a rhythm. With Kyrie being in and out, it was hard for us. But make the best of it. I'm 11 years in, now going into my 11th season. Can't be any more thankful than that. I've been blessed to play in this league for a decade plus. Not too many guys get that opportunity, so I try to enjoy the best I can despite the highs and lows. And it's crazy because I have kids now too, so they get to see me play. And I remember myself being a kid watching like all these NBA players and looking up to them, and I got my own little ones now that look up to me now and they're starting to understand the game a little bit more. Nothing like it, man. I enjoy my time, man.
Best walk on all time, UConn?
Yeah, UConn Huskies, man. That story's crazy. Not to touch on it too long. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but with that situation, I remember I was with my best friend Mike. We were at the carnival, the Portland Carnival in Connecticut, and we went to the carnival for like an hour, and I got a phone call from my mom. She said, "I need you to come home right now." I'm like, damn, all right, what the hell did I do? I thought I curfew not till another 2 hours. I should be straight. I don't know what's going on. so I had my boy Mike take me back home, and I pull up to my aunt's house, and she comes and greets me at the door, and she brings me in the house. We go downstairs, the lights is all dim and shit, like some Godfather type shit, like my whole family downstairs. They all just sitting there looking at me, and they're like, what's your plans for next year? 'Cause I graduated early as a junior. Yeah. And I was like, well, my plan was to go back to high school. All my friends was going to go to school. Chris Dunn, who I played with AAU, he went to New London High School. He was going to leave and do his PG year at the Wilbraham and Munson with me and my best friend Mike. And I was like, that was my plan. I was like, that's what we had planned. I already enrolled to school, had my fucking suit and tie and all that shit ready to go. So I'm ready to go. And my family was like, nah. We're thinking too good. You're far past your years at high school. You shouldn't play another year. You need to go to college. I was like, it's August. It's August. Like the semester about to start in like a week. So what we doing? Like where am I going?
Yeah.
So they're like, every school in the country was recruiting me, from Florida Gators, North Carolina, Duke, Kentucky, UConn. I mean, you go down the list of great teams: USC, UCLA, everybody, Texas. So like, where do you want to go? I was like, my favorite schools at the time was Duke, Florida, Kentucky, and UConn, because I grew up watching UConn. I lived in Connecticut, so I got to see like Stanley Robinson, Kimball Walker, Jerome Dyson, Hashim Thabit.
Oh yeah.
Jerome Dyson used to get their hair braided at my aunt's salon, so I've had a relationship with them since I was like 12 years old. Watching them come in at my salon, fucking, I'm like 6'5" in like 8th grade, but Hashim's 7'3", so his big ass walking through my aunt's salon, ducking and shit. So, see those guys on TV, and then you see him in real life, like, damn, this is a really big dude, bro. Like, damn. So I was chopping up with him, just asking like how he got to where he was at. How he became a good shot blocker. I learned a lot from him too at such a young age. Mm-hmm. So I was a little bit more advanced. Yeah. So not to get caught up with that. So now we're sitting there. We're like, all right, well, let's narrow your options down. So it's between Kentucky, Duke, and UConn. So I'm like, all right, well now we got to narrow it down. Like, we can't just sit here and say we got three. Like, we got to pick one. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So as a biased committee, everybody was like, we want you to go to UConn because it's right in our backyard.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, bet. So I was like, I didn't put up a fight. I knew better. I knew I was too good to play in high school still. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I'll go to college. So I didn't really put up a fight with them. Like, you need to come.
Okay.
So, I try to call Coach Calhoun. I try to call everybody at UConn, and nobody was answering. It's August now. Everybody's still on vacation. I'm ready to head back, and got no phone calls. So I'm looking around. I'm like, yo, what y'all want me to do? Like, nobody's answering. Who do I call? Like, it was harder to get in contact with college coaches back then than it is now.
Yeah.
So like, if you couldn't answer on the phone, you just gotta wait for them to call you back. Right. So
damn.
I remember, I think I was probably one of the first people to commit to a school like on Twitter. Like I think I was one of the first people to do that.
What year was that?
2011, 2012. I think 2011. Excuse me. I think I was one of the first people to do that shit.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, bet. You know what? I'm gonna tweet it. I was like, you gonna do what? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna tweet it. I think that's the only way it's gonna get somebody's attention. Like, if I don't do it, nobody knows what I'm doing right now. So I was like, if I tweet it, somebody's gonna call me.
That's facts, yeah.
So actually, I lied. Before I tweeted it, I called Alex Oriaki.
Okay.
I called him because I remember I still had his number. I'm like, yo, bro. I'm like, yo, what's going on? I got him on FaceTime. He was like, oh man, what's going on, man? How you doing? I'm like, I'm good. I was like, hey man, I know he's at a party. Like, I know you at a party right now, but I got some news for you. He's like, what? I'm like, I'm about to come to school. He said, what the fuck you just say? I was like, yeah, I'm about to come into UConn. This man at a party put his phone up in the air and go, Drummond's coming to UConn. Everybody in the background going fucking nuts, like losing their mind, going crazy. I said, yo, focus, bro. I need to get a hold of coach. Like, how do I do this? Like, what I need to do? He said, all right, I'm gonna try to get a hold of coach now. So he hangs up. So I just said, forget it. So I go on my phone. I tweet. I don't know. You could probably find a tweet.
Yeah.
You know, if you can go back that far.
Yeah.
You know, I said, you know, I hear about the clear that I'm gonna go to the University of Connecticut. Within 60 seconds, I got a phone call from Kevin Ali. within 60 seconds, I got a phone call. He's like, are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. He's like, yo, let me get a hold of coach. He's at a camping trip, so that's why he didn't answer me. He was away with his family camping.
Yeah.
So he calls me back like 2 hours later. He's like, oh man, you know, I'm just really excited to hear that you want to come here. He's like, but there's one hiccup. I was like, what's up? He was like, we have no more scholarships. We just gave the last one away to DeAndre Daniels because he just signed like 2 weeks before I made this decision. So DeAndre Daniels got the last scholarship. I was like, all right. He's like, well, we could put you on financial aid where you pretty much, you know, you'll pay a decent amount, but you have to owe it back whenever you leave. We know you're going to the NBA.
That is tough. That is so tough.
We know you're going, so like the financial aid is not going to kill you that much. So
that's tough.
I'm like, all right, cool, we can do that. He's like, or we can, you know, take DeAndre Daniels' scholarship and make him pay. And I said no. I said I didn't want the scholarship. I was like, let him have it.
Solid.
I was like, I don't want that. I was like, I'll take the loan. To my mom, I was like, I'm going to, like, I told her to her face, I was like, I'm going to the NBA, so just suck it up for a year or however long I'm here.
Yeah.
I was like, just take the loan. I know it's going to put us in a tough situation.
Solid.
We're going to be fine. So, long story short, you know, I go up to campus. I get red flagged, obviously. They're like, why is there no more player in the nation being a fucking walk-on at the University of Connecticut who just won the year before? Like, something fishy's going on.
Yeah.
so they red flagged me, so I had to like go back home for like 2 weeks till they cleared everything up. So I ended up going back to school and playing my year at UConn, man. And the rest is history. You know, here I am.
You never told that story?
I mean, I tell that story, but not as in-depth as I just did.
Oh, my God.
Like, with the whole scholarship thing, I never told that part before, so that's a gem for you right there. But yeah, DeAndre Daniels is like one of my best friends too. He's one of my best friends at school and to this day still. And he always, you know, always is appreciative of that moment because it could have been a lot different from him if he didn't have that scholarship.
That's fact, yeah.
So,
damn, that is crazy. So wait, so you got to the lead after that. So after that, how was like the first year in the league from being a walk-on? Well, you weren't. You was a walk-on, but you was like
I don't know. That was such a weird situation.
Yeah, that shit was weird as hell.
Such a weird situation, but
So, but how was it like going your first year of the league?
I worked out for Detroit at like 4 a.m. the night before the drive.
4 a.m. night before the drive.
Yeah, I was sleeping and my agent called me. He's like, "Hey, you awake?" I said, "No." I was like, "No, I'm not awake." He was like, "Well, I need you to get up and get dressed."
Yeah.
I said, "What for?" He was like, "I need you to get up and get dressed. You're gonna go work out with Detroit." Like, what am I going to go work out for Detroit for? Like, you told me I'm projected top 5. Like, why would I go for a team that is at 9? He's like, just go. Trust me. Like, you know, you never know what happens in the draft. The draft is crazy. Just go do the workout.
Yeah.
So boom, I get up. So now it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. I get to the gym. You know, Joe Dumars is there. George David, his assistant GM, was there. So they put me through a workout. You know, I do pretty well, obviously, for 5 in the morning. And the guy that was just sleeping, so it was a decent workout.
Yeah.
And I remember I was sitting down and I was just looking out on the court. I'm like, damn, I really just worked out at 5 in the morning in front of these guys. Like, I wonder what they're thinking. 'Cause I know I'm fucking tired. So I'm wondering what they're thinking. So I remember George David put his hand on my shoulder. He was like, I know you're projected to go pretty high in the draft, but just know if you do happen to fall to 9, then you have a home. Yeah. And like that sat with me throughout the whole day. Like I just kept thinking about that shit. I was like, well, worst come to worst, I know I'm going somewhere.
Yeah.
And like this team wants me.
Yeah.
So the draft comes around. I'll tell the short story about the draft. So Draft comes around. I'm sitting in the green room. We're all on a little table. The draft starts. We already knew Anthony Davis was going number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2 was a shock. It was Bradley Beal. We're like, okay, Brad had a decent season in Florida. Then 3 was Michael Kidd. I lied. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist was 2nd to Charlotte, and then Bradley Beal was 3 to Washington. 4 was Deion Waiters to Cleveland. 5 was Thomas Robinson. I thought I was going to Sack.
Oh,
so that's
okay.
what messed the draft up, because they picked him. I thought I was going there, so I was like, oh damn, that's weird. So I'm over there sweating and shit. I'm like, damn, there goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm still here. Like, yo, what's good? Hey bro, what's going on? Like, why am I still sitting here? So I started panicking. So 6 go by. Dame Lillard was probably like the steal of the draft, in my opinion. I think that pick was crazy. Him going 6 to Portland, nobody knew who he was really. Like Weber State, nobody's heard of that school before.
Yeah.
7, I actually talked to Golden State too, and they were pretty interested in me too. 7, they picked up Harrison Barnes. I'm like, all right, Harrison Barnes had a really good career over at North
Carolina.
Yeah. So then 8, I remember I was sitting down. 8 was Toronto, and I've never been to Toronto before. I'm from Connecticut, so I'm like, I don't even know what it is to be in another country, yet alone play there. Yeah. So, like, bro, I'm not trying to go to no other country, so I was nervous. So, bro, with the hat, cause you know the guy come on the hat to like present you.
Oh yeah, they gotta give you that.
So he's next to me.
Yeah.
He's between me and Terrence Ross.
Yeah.
All right, boy.
All right,
so
bro.
he's between me and Terrence Ross. So I'm sweating bullets. I'm like, shit. I'm like, ain't no way. I've never been to Toronto. What is even in Toronto? Like, what's happening? And then they call Terrence Ross. You know, the number 8 pick, Toronto Raptors select Terrence Ross. So, all right, cool. I sank in my seat. But then once the pick went by, like reality started setting in. I was like, holy shit, I'm about to be called. Like, because Detroit was 9.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, like this overwhelming like feeling of emotions. It's like went through my body. I was crying like a bitch for at least like. I cried a lot. I was so much emotions came over me, bro. Like just to hear my name being called and like being one of the last guys to be called up by David Stern in the lottery.
Yeah.
You know, just to sit there and I'm looking at my mom. She looking back at me. She crying. My sister crying. My uncle was crying. I got the phone call right after the Toronto pick.
Yeah.
And you know, Joe Dumars was like, you know, welcome to Detroit. Bro, this is crazy. Like, this is like my life is over. Like, this is it. Like, everything is about to like start right. Like, my life starts today. So I just remember being called. I go up on stage. I shake David Stern's hand. Still to this day, one of my worst and most uncomfortable looking pictures I've ever taken. My eyes is all red and shit. I'm squinting like this. I'm crying so hard. Like, it's a horrible picture, all in all.
You like the Twitter was a wild.
Yeah,
like
it's a horrible picture. A horrible picture, all in all. So,
we had some technical difficulties, but we back.
No, it's all good. You know, shit happens sometimes, man. So, you know, after you know taking the picture and all that, and you know going to the green room, doing my press conference, and just really letting it all sink in, and I'm looking at my mom again after my interview. I'm like, damn, like we did it. Like I just thought about everything, like my whole 17 years of life just flashed in front of me as I'm walking to the stage to shake David Stern's hand. And you know, the rest is history, man. Detroit. You know, I owe my life to them, man. You know, they took a chance on me at 9, and you know, I gave everything I had when I was out there for the 8 years I was there. My first year was interesting. You know, I got hurt midway through the season, right before All-Star break. I had a stress fracture in my back. It kind of set me back a little bit. But you know, when I came back, I think I missed 3 months or 4 months. I can't remember how long I missed. One of those things, but I missed it. And then I came back when I became a starter after that, and kind of the rest was history after that. The day I came back, I started, and like everything changed from there. I just became who I am today as the best rebounder ever. Ever.
You was going crazy against Detroit. You're wild out.
But yeah, that's the spiel, man. You know, that's a unique story, man. Not everybody gets to hear this story. You know, I've had a lot of fun in my career. A lot of fun.
How was it in LA, you think? Like, what do you think the difference is between LA and a lot of, you know, playing with the Lakers?
You know, the Lakers is exactly what you think it is, man. You got to be built differently to play for that organization. You got to be mentally strong, not even just on the court, but off the court too, because there's so much expectations to being a Laker and putting that purple and gold on. Because if you don't meet the expectation, they will let you know you're not worthy enough to wear that jersey. So, you know, you got to play to the best of your ability. And play hard each and every night, regardless win, lose, or draw. You know, you got to just play hard, and that's what they respect. So I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun out there. You know, I came off a weird situation, you know, with Cleveland where they sat me out for 4 months, and I kind of came back, you know, on a whim, just trying to figure out how to, you know, fit in with a team that I've never played with before, and I haven't played in 4 months too. So it was kind of a weird situation getting back into the groove of basketball again. So I wish I had a better chance to really connect with those guys and really do something. But you know, everything happens for a reason. The Lakers situation was fun though. I had a lot of fun being there.
It's tough. You seen the Oh, actually, I should ask you this low key because I asked David. You know David West?
Yeah.
It's my OGs. I asked about it. Do you ever go on Twitter and see like the memes like they post to
other players, like me and other players? Nah, you know I don't really.
You never seen it?
I used to be heavy on that early in my career. Like my first 3-4 years, I used to go out to the games and just look at all the shit people used to say about me, either good or bad. And it started fucking with me mentally. So I stopped reading. I don't even go on social media like that no more. Like I have somebody run my whole page. I don't even care for it no more. But
it's tough.
And at the end of the day, it's another man's opinion to you. I mean, what the fuck does he know? He's probably never touched a basketball before. He's probably will never step foot on the NBA court or ever have the accolades or success I've had in my career. So for me to let another man have that power over me, it makes no sense. Like I don't know why guys even argue with fans. Like they can never walk a mile in your shoes, or never have walked a mile in your shoes or stepped in them. That's why they do what they do. They come and support you. So they got their opinions, and it's respectable. I mean, obviously the fans, they pay good money to watch us play, and they want to see a certain caliber of play, but we ain't perfect, man. We can't give you that shit every single fucking night. Like, come on, it's unrealistic to expect a nigga to just go out there and give you a spectacular show every night. It's unrealistic. That's a dime in a dozen. Like,
stop them parlays, man.
Yeah, man. It's the new betting system, man, because there's so much power with betting, and we have the power to fuck it up. so not only are you paying, you know, hundreds of dollars for tickets, you're putting hundreds of more dollars into what we can do in a game, which is it's gambling, bro. At the end of the day, you can't expect us to win you money, man. Like, shit happens, man. We're not gonna meet every mark you give us, but
that's fact.
I guess it's the best part of gambling. Exactly. That's why it's called gambling.
Every week, because when you don't get their parlays,
they be really hot. Like they really be mad. Like
in college too, you don't get their parlays.
I remember. I think I was playing the game in Brooklyn. It's my first few games, and I think I just had back-to-back double-doubles. I was getting 14 to 12. And I missed it one game. I think I had 9 rebounds, and I guess a guy bet 10. He said, "You couldn't get one fucking rebound, man. You lost me $5,000." I said, "Nobody told you to fucking bet on me." What you mean? That's your choice. I'm not obligated to fill your fucking bet. I'm here to win a basketball game.
I'm saying they go crazy.
Yo, it's funny, man. You know, I love it though. I love it though because it brings me joy to break somebody's heart.
What's the biggest difference between playing with KD and LeBron?
The biggest difference?
Yeah. They both phenomenal players, but
I think it's hard to gauge the difference because they do so many spectacular things on both ends of the court. And I think, obviously with LeBron, he's one of the best players to ever play the game. With him, I think just his knowledge is one of my favorite things about him, how knowledgeable he is about the game, the X's and O's, where guys need to be. You know, when he plays defense, just certain passing lanes, who he sags off of, he knows the game really well. With Kevin, probably one of the best scorers I've ever stepped on the floor with. Him and Kyrie, probably the best 2 scorers I've ever stepped on the floor with in my lifetime. Like watching those guys play and just the way they make it look easy. I guess that's the word I was looking for. Make it look so easy when they score, when they do certain things, moves they make, and just how fluent it is. It's like they're doing workouts out there. They're not even seeing the defender. They're just getting into their spot and just doing their thing, just over the top, layup, floating. It's remarkable, man. But difference-wise, it's hard to gauge between Kevin and LeBron. I mean, both respectable guys. Love playing with them. I think they taught me a lot. Being on the same floor with them too, so that's up to them.
That's tough. You gotta drop some new music. Where the music at? That's
music.
Where you dropping some music?
We in May, right? So I usually start working on my projects in June. Give myself time to decompress and really, let the year sink in, give myself time to rest. But June is when I start recording again. I have a project out probably around my birthday time, so look out for that.
I'm gonna use your song for the Bix, I think.
Love it.
I'll
give you a song, man. I'll give you an unreleased song that you can use.
I'll definitely use the song for sure.
But, other than that, man, that's me, man.
Hey, appreciate that. Well, I would be here in Miami, you know. I'm here for a month, so I'm gonna be here in the gym with you, so
For sure,
y'all gonna see more stuff coming. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate you.
Good.